you for joining me today. And with my co-host, Terry, we are going to cover some really fun stuff on this beautiful Thursday, our last Thursday, oh my gosh, of the summer, Terry. It's our last Thursday of the summer.
Well, it feels like it's autumn over here in England. It's dropping down to about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, my goodness. But maybe 66 tomorrow if we're lucky.
Well, we actually have a little heat wave going on here in Southern California, so it's supposed to be really warm. But I am looking so forward to fall. I absolutely love it because it's big changes in our weather and our environment. And as you know, I think people get a little bit more lively because it's, we get a little bit of crisp, air. But I wanted to thank Curtis Michael Salon for being so kind to be our supporter today. And I highly recommend you go see Kurt and Chantel at, Chantel, to go see them, please, at Curtis Michael Salon in San Juan Capistrano. And if you mention us, Terry, they will give our listeners 20% off for being so kind and coming in and seeing them. So anyway, without further ado today, we're going to talk about something really fun, and we've got a lot of great feedback, and we hope that when Terry and I are actually just having a conversation that you guys are joining in with us, and it's like you're here with us. And so grab your favorite drink and sit back, and we always invite any information, stories, or comments. But so Terry, what do you think? Things that you've done out of the ordinary.
Wow, yes. I mean, that's such a huge invitation, that is. I mean, often we could be governed by our own limitations, which can actually hold you back from doing something out of the ordinary. What I did out of the ordinary to a certain degree was that when I first went to Portland in Oregon about 5 or 6 years ago, my friend of mine over there said, let's go up and climb up Multnomah Falls. And I said, what? You must be joking. And we climbed and climbed, and I thought, I don't want to go any farther because I do get a little bit of the old vertigo. But I thought, no, I won't be beaten. I'll keep following the guy up and up and up and up and up. Oh, my goodness. Then to the very top, there's this huge big sort of platform where you can go right to the very edge and look over the edge. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. But I did because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do something out of the ordinary. Go and look and go and climb and look over the edge. And that lasted for about 8 seconds and I got back quickly.
But wow, that is awesome because to do something that's, again, you said out of your comfort zone, but also out of what you normally wouldn't do or out of the ordinary. You're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's basically what you either been programmed to do or what you haven't done in the past. And then to actually step out of that comfort zone. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, how did you feel? Like when you got done, didn't you go, wow, I am so glad I did this?
Well, I was really elated, and my friend Archie, he was so pleased that I made it all the way up to the top, because I'm a fairly hefty guy, and it was a big steep walk, but I made it, and I felt really good that I'd achieved and gone all the way up to the top of there, and actually got right to the edge and looked down. I'd say it didn't last very long, but I felt really exhilarated and felt good, and then going down, well, forget about going down, but that was great too,
And I think that's what makes it so much fun is you created this memory that you have and is such an accomplishment. And even though it was climbing to someplace and taking 8 seconds to overlook this waterfall, which was a huge step for you as a person, that memory and that accomplishment is just another, almost like another building block of who you are in something grand in your life.
It's just, this whole adventure of my this U.S. connection I've had, and being in the music business as well as in the radio business, it's opened up a whole new life, not only for myself, but obviously I met LaughtHer via the internet and the radio, and there's a whole new world out there that I just hadn't thought about exploring, and now I am, and I feel about 20 years younger.
Well, then, taking something out of the ordinary and then having it grow into something grand that we don't expect, I think is one of the greatest gifts we could actually embrace, because we never know what's around the corner when you do something that's just outside of what you normally wouldn't have an opportunity to do. Some of the trendsetters, of people, and I say trendsetters, and what I mean by that is somebody who did something that's never been done before to open up other doors for people to see as another perspective. I commend those people. I mean, whether it's sports related, whether it's within the music, whether it's in art, and just even as us as a person, as an individual, going, I never considered doing that. And then it blossoms into this grand thing that just brings so much joy in your life. I mean, did you ever have so much joy doing something, Terry, that you feel like you got butterflies and you're just, I always say it's like almost like your heart wants to dance with so much joy and love that you just want to pop it out of your chest. I mean, I love that feeling. And it's like, oh, when you get those, you're like, I know what that is. And we want so much more of it.
Yes, sometimes the elation of achieving what you would never probably do before. I mean, first time I went into a helicopter, oh, no, thank you. The plane was a great experience, but a helicopter, I thought, no, the opportunity is here for you, Terry. Go for it and experience what it's like in a helicopter. And once that initial fear is over and you sit down and enjoy the view and enjoy the elation of a little bit of dipping, a little bit of diving, etc. It really is a wonderful feeling, etc. Just like falling in love again. Oh, there you go.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, you get the butterflies and the excitement, and you just can't wait to do it again. Or you hit the ground running every morning going, what's around the next corner? What's going to come? And you're excited about the next step. And you just can't wait with that deep passion to get to it and be able to embrace what's ever coming. And those moments in our lives when we have those, we go, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next day just to see what's going on or what's going to happen next.
There's always a challenge around the corner, whether you are limited by maybe financially, you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do lots of other things, but just look a little bit deeper, look below the surface, and there will be a challenge waiting for you, and just take that step and off you go.
Yeah, and I think that's really a good observation, because so many people have said to me, well, I've always wanted to do this, but I just haven't had the money, or my favorite is I don't have the time. And it's like we all have 24 hours in a day, and the reality is it's just time management, and I think that's another time, another show, and maybe that's something we can discuss another time. But when you have something you are really excited about, or you're doing something out of the ordinary, you will always find a way to do it. I had one of our listeners who actually sent me a story, and he's a very good friend from a long time ago. I've known him for many, many years, and I remember we used to drag race together. And he was one of the very first guys out. This was down in Florida, and him and I would go out and race at Moroso, and it was on Beeline Highway out in the middle, absolutely nowhere. And at that time, he was creating a car that was a 9-second car, which would be a car now equivalent to our 8 seconds and even some of the faster cars. But back then, people weren't going these times. And he was doing stuff that he was just trying and doing over, and people are like, are you crazy? And he would just get on that track and just go. And he literally set, and opened up doors for people to come to him and go, what are you doing? How did you do that? And now that, all the people that were looking at him like he was crazy, or he wasn't doing something that everybody else was doing, they were going to him trying to find out what was he doing differently. So he opened up doors even though other people didn't believe in what he was doing. And I love that. We just had this conversation. He called me this morning. I thought, you know what? I forgot about that. And what a great great story, because how many people in our lives, or even people we've known through history, have done things out of the ordinary that have opened up doors for us in many, many ways that we either see as the norm today, or we can look at and go, oh, I could build off of that. And maybe if we did it this way, and it's just kind of like it's like a mosaic. You know, you put a little colored piece of glass in, and right away it just looks like this big jumbled mess. But as it starts to grow, you're like, wow, it creates this incredible picture, you know, that everybody can contribute to make it this more elaborate, you know, gorgeous outcome. And I think everybody can always contribute and make things to improve and better.
Well, I mean, life is a bit of a jigsaw puzzle at times, isn't it?
Yes.
And sometimes you often do the edges first. So you suss out the edges and you get a bit closer and a bit closer and a bit closer. Then suddenly you're right towards the very middle of the jigsaw, and it's all becoming a little bit clearer on what the life is all about. And I've got a couple of more jigsaw puzzles to go, but it's getting that way for me anyway.
But you know what? But that's what makes life fun. You know, we create this this story of our own lives, and what we write in each chapter is something that we look back on, whether it's good or bad. And going out of the ordinary, or doing something that's different, or creating a new chapter of something that you would have never taken into consideration. It's almost like that twist of events. It's like, oh, that's good. I didn't see that one coming. So you actually open up, like you said, with the radio, and then meeting Lady Hawke, and opening up these new chapters, you know, with our collaboration, whatever we do together, or what you do with DJ on the Morning Breeze. It's opened up all these new environments that have allowed you to build.
It's just a wonderful thing, and
embrace different avenues.
Yeah. I mean, it has opened up so many different doors, and, you know, and people have opened up their hearts to me as well, both musically, you know, and for friendship-wise. And I really do love my USA audience as much as I love my European and UK one, but I'll always have a really close affinity with our Californian, Arizonian side, and it's something you can't explain sometimes, Mikki.
Yeah, and I think that's the best part. I would have to say, I mean, again, in my humble opinion, if you cannot describe it, put words on it, and actually explain it, then I think that's when you have captured the most inspirational, exciting, out of the ordinary things for yourself, you know, as an individual. Because when you can't even put something to describe, you have to experience. It's like saying, how do you describe the color orange? You can't. You know, or how do you tell me what an orange tastes like? You know, there's the same word, but everybody has two different looks, you know, the way it looks, you know, so you may see it a different way, but to you, it captures a whole different meaning. So, okay, my friends, we are coming to a little break here, so please stay with Terry and I. Terry, you can find on 102.3 HFM in the UK. You can also find all the avenues to reach out to him, because I know he welcomes your stories and comments too. So please, 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 find him through my website, which is MikkiSt.Germain.com, and you can also find him on Facebook. So stay with me. We'll be right back, and enjoy this beautiful music from John Luttrell. Welcome back with me and Terry Hawke. Thank you so much for joining us on this last Thursday of August with our fall right around the corner. And I know we've got our Labor Day, which I hope you all have a safe and fun weekend. But thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us today and have a cup of coffee with us and sit back and join our conversations. We love the interaction. And I am so pleased and excited because Terry and I have so much fun having these conversations and having you part of it with us. So it's like all sitting together, and even though you're not here with us physically, you're with us vicariously and through your stories and comments. So please keep them coming. And you can send them out to Terry through Facebook for Terry James Hawke. You can contact me through MikkiSt.Germain.com. And through my Facebook, you can find all my avenues. And we welcome you. So we are talking about today, if you've missed the first half, about things you've done out of the ordinary. And we've had so much fun. And I love, this is one of my favorite subjects because it brings so much joy. And it's going out there and doing something that creates chance and risk and something that you might be doing that's fearless. And I love it. And you have shared some of your stories. And just to touch on a few, some of you have said, well, I started a new job. I created a new business. I went skydiving. I did things that people wouldn't think I would do or didn't believe I could do, through judgments, through opinions. And I think once you get past all those internal ego things or things that have created negative thoughts or belief systems, and you go out and you actually do it, you are like, oh my gosh, you know what? Why did I wait so long? Why did I let this keep me from doing what I really wanted to do, or going out there and doing something even while people still are judging you, and not letting it affect who you are and the spontaneity of it, or the enjoyment of it, the passion of it, and just being and capturing who you are as a person, because it just makes your heart sing.
I quite agree with that, and I've just been checking through your book, and I just want to read out one little quote of yours, which was, "Breaking through our limitations only takes the strength of our decisions." I like that, Mikki. Very, very true, that is. I love it.
Thank you. And, I've had so much fun, and for me on a personal level, living my life trying to remember that every single day. And some of you that have had the opportunity to read my book, Got Baggage, they're all full of my personal stories and how I've dealt with certain things in my life, some of them not so grand. And to be able to get past some tragic events and some things that would make your hair curl or straighten if you have curly hair. But I've always looked at life going, I never want things of my past to keep me from moving forward and enjoying the things that I really want to do. And even if it means stepping outside the ordinary and doing things beyond even my own limitations, things that somebody has said, oh, you can't do that, or why would you want to do that, and how can you be doing this? And I have to always remember, when people say things like that to, whether it's myself or to others, or you hear it, and sometimes you even have to stop as a person and say, why would I say that to someone? It's all based on our own limitations that we believe in ourselves, maybe some of the things of our own opinions because of experience that have happened, and we have created these foundations or these solid, I almost want to say solid thoughts that really should be made of sand. Because you have to think, why do you think that way? Of why couldn't you do something? Or why don't you think someone can do something? Is it based on your own thought process of your limitations and beliefs? Or, even your own opinions or their opinions?
Well, indeed. I mean, there's still one fear that I'll let everybody know now, that I had quite a nasty car accident. 45 years ago. And even now, it puts me off driving. I get behind the steering wheel and it still becomes very uncomfortable. Although I wasn't hurt one little bit, some of the passengers that were with me, they were mildly hurt. But I tell you now, it put me off driving, and I still haven't conquered that little bit of fear. So I've still got one more mountain to climb, but I think I'm too old to drive again. I'm sure I am, but that's a secret I'll share with everybody.
That was very kind of you, and I'm sure everyone appreciates that, because I think we all have these little inner fears that we all try to get over. But I have to commend you, because you actually recognize it, and you've addressed it, and where it lies in your life. But you've also found ways to. It doesn't stop you from traveling, and you still go places, and you still do things. So even though it's a little part of you that you still are struggling with, you still have found it hasn't captured you or kept you from moving forward and doing other ways around it, and still being traveling and still going out. You're not living your life secluded in your house, because of that. That fear hasn't grown into something that has overtaken your whole life.
No, I just got used to that, and although I did get back in the car and started to do some sort of like confidence lessons about 3 years ago, I did about 3 or 4 sessions, and then all those little flashbacks came back, and I said, I'm very sorry, I just cannot continue. And I didn't like being beaten, but I had to give way to the emotions for once, and they'll always be there. But who knows? I may be able to beat it sometime. I don't know. But yes, it hadn't stopped me from traveling. I love flying. I love helicopter flying. I love traveling in, whether it's a bus or a car, or even on the back of a motorbike. How about that?
Yeah. But see, this is just something that's an obstacle for you that in time, maybe you'll get over, maybe you won't. But again, it hasn't allowed you to be a prisoner in your life. You know what it is, you've addressed it, and you've moved forward from it. And it's one of those things where you go, okay, I know it's there, but you're still doing things that are allowing you to grow as a person. And I would have to say, and again, I hate to speak for everybody on this, so I'm going to say it for me as an individual. I would say, as human beings, and for me, there's always going to be something. There's always going to be one little thing that maybe holds us back. But you know what? It doesn't have to be that one thing that keeps you from doing everything. And that's okay. That's okay. And I think sometimes we have to have somebody say, you know what? Hey, don't worry about it. That is so minor compared to all the other grand things that you're doing. And you're still doing things that are out of the ordinary, even though you've got that one little, maybe it's that one puzzle piece that doesn't fit right, but it doesn't ruin the whole picture, right?
Well, I'd love to fit it. And I've even tried to, I cut round it and put my own little pattern around it and still put it in the middle. But no, it's got to be the right shape. It's got to be the right one. And I don't know. Maybe I will attempt it. Who knows?
I think in time, and only and as we know as people, we know in our own time when things come around where we can take that next step. So I'm going to wish you luck and positive thoughts on that one. But I still love you as a friend, whether you're driving or not.
Oh, thank you, Mikki.
So, my listeners, my friends, I wanted to kind of share with you. A lot of you have said, I've done things out of the ordinary, and people have laughed at me, or how do you get by that, and what do you do? And honestly, one of the things Lady Hawke said that I absolutely love, and I'm going to keep using to this day, is you just do it. You just go forward with it. And some of you that follow me or that are friends with me, or even some of you that don't know, I have just recently done something out of the ordinary that, I'll be honest with you, I was so afraid because of the judgments, and it's out of my comfort zone. Even though I have knowledge, it's not anything I've ever done before. I had to step up as a coach for a Pop Warner football team. And so I become their offensive lineman coach, but I stood in a room with 349 men and me. And so I'm doing it, but I wouldn't change it, because every single day I absolutely love it, and it creates that joy. And my gosh, Terry, we're at the end of our show already.
Oh,
no.
God,
how does this happen? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, with that being said, I would like to thank everybody for listening. Thank you so much again, Curtis Michael Salons in San Juan Capistrano. You are very generous for supporting us today. And please go and see them. You can find their link on my website. They're in San Juan Capistrano if you're in the Orange County area. Please find Terry. We will be together the first Saturday, but you can also hear Terry every Saturday on 102.3 HFM. I always tongue tie on that one. And you can find him on my on my Facebook, and join us next Thursday. Yay! We are starting Tea Talk with Lady Hawke. You guys do not want to miss this. She's a lot of fun. She's amazing. She's got some great insight, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you all. But please, my friends, remember the most courageous thing you can do is be yourself. And I love you all. I love you, Terry. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Off to the locker room with you.